Most embarrassing story that I've ever told.
What was that?
Oh, we didn't have audio for a minute.
Oh, okay. Well, let's get back to do we get any of that stuff about decades apart?
No, we gotta start over.
Okay.
Every single thing has gone wrong this morning.
Hey, you know what? It's a Monday. Jen worked so hard, and she doesn't deserve this. So, whoever the gods are that are doing this, stop it right now.
Cut it out.
So let's go back and say good morning. It's Porcelli's Deli. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. We have some fun stuff coming up today, including a band called Decades Apart, which is out in the O'Fallon area. Good band. They did some great stuff, and they sent us a song called One More Night, which I really loved. And we had a great conversation with them. We'll replay that for you. And then through meeting Decades Apart, we also met the Quarantine Radio Theater. A bunch of kids, I call them kids because everyone's a kid to me, who were doing community theater, and of course the pandemic hit, and it all had to stop. So they got together and they virtually, through Zoom, do radio theater like they used to do back in the 30s and the 40s and stuff. And
it's really good.
Yeah, oh, it's great.
Like, there's sound effects, there's the music behind it, the whole, like, the way that it's put together production-wise is super slick. And it's very captivating.
It's very creative.
I highly recommend.
And Larry, you were saying that...
Yeah, I was saying today in the Post-Dispatch, several live theaters announced they will be going back to live audiences in early 2021. So that's great news for the theater scene in St. Louis.
Absolutely great news. And theater is something that... Here's the thing about St. Louis. So first of all, Larry Cohen, one of our fearless leaders here at NexCore, is with us. And the thing about St. Louis theater is there is so much great talent in this town that you can see for $15.
Yes.
You know? I mean, some people, when they sing, I'm like, why isn't this person on Broadway? They're that good. Right. So hopefully that'll be getting back on stage and get some theater companies back in business, which will be great. So Larry Cohen is here with us, who spent some time in Mexico. Where specifically in Mexico?
Puerto Vallarta.
Oh, I'm sorry, let me say that. Puerto Vallarta.
Do the Goya.
Si es Goya, tiene que ser bueno.
I don't know what you said, but it sounded good.
What it means is, if it's Goya, it has to be good. Si es Goya, tiene que ser bueno. And I used to watch, I told the story last week, I used to watch wrestling on TV back in New York, and it was on the Spanish-speaking UHF channel for some reason. So the wrestling was in English, but the commercials were all in Spanish.
Right.
And there's a Goya Foods commercial on every single break. And at the end of every break, the guy says, Si es Goya, tiene que ser bueno. And very quickly, in a nutshell, I made a mistake in my very first job in radio, which was at a Spanish-speaking radio station. And instead of telling anyone that I made a mistake on my first day, I just recorded my own voice saying, Si es Goya, tiene que ser bueno. And I put it on the air. Nobody
was the wiser.
Nobody knew a darn thing. But getting back to Puerto Vallarta, do you have any words, Jen, that you just love to say?
Sacapuntos is my favorite Mexican or Spanish word. Sacapuntos.
What does that mean?
Pencil sharpener.
Oh, love it.
That sounds so much better in Spanish.
It does. 3 years of Spanish. I got an A all through it. The only word besides hola and me gusta cerveza was sacapuntos. That's all I took away.
There was a comedian. His real name was Don Novello, but he was Father Guido Sarducci on Saturday Night Live. Remember him?
Yes.
He did a stand-up album that was live at St. Douglas Convent or something like that. It really, truly was in front of a bunch of nuns. And he says he was going to make the 5-minute university. A lot cheaper than a regular university, because you take Spanish, ¿Cómo está usted? Muy bien, gracias. About all you're going to remember 10 years from now. So that's all we teach.
That's good.
But
you're going to forget the rest
that's
of it.
Why bother go through and pay all that money when all you're going to remember is ¿Cómo está usted? Muy bien, gracias. But Puerto Vallarta is just such a fun word to say. I also like to say Walt Jocketty. Remember Walt Jocketty was a GM for the Cardinals?
For sure.
What a fun name to say. Walt Jocketty. How about you, Larry? You got any words you'd love to say?
My favorite is Parsica.
Which means what?
Parsica means because in French.
Oh.
I always loved that.
Do you speak French?
Un peu.
Oh, you do?
Si. I mean,
Wait. Si. What's your name? Sai.
So bad.
So Larry was in Mexico with our other fearless leader, Jim Shelby, who we're going to hear from on Wednesday. And I have the feeling that it's going to be like a introduce Jim, and then Jen and I are going to go have coffee or something. Just let him rant, because I have a feeling.
Yeah, he loves to listen to his own voice.
No, it's not why. Stop that. He has a lot on his mind. Let's just say that.
He does have a lot to say right now. A lot is going on. It's a very hot political time, especially as a small business.
Right. Which brings me to another point that I will never, ever get used to this mask thing. Okay? I do it, if I go into Quick Trip, which I go into almost every day, every day I will forget the mask and walk to the door. God, the mask.
That's why I wear bandanas.
Back to the door. I wish I was smarter, as smart as you.
They look cool.
And now you have to have a variety of masks to match your outfit.
Yeah.
It's totally become a fashion.
Right. I mean, I see it everywhere. All these different ads for different masks. They remind me of when I used to wear a suit, and I had to have lots of different ties to match the suit. Now you have to have a mask to match.
Right.
I legit went into Ross the other day, and they are now selling matching masks and T-shirts.
How about that?
Yeah.
They come with this, made out of the same pattern fabric.
Well, Jen's got a hookup
bizarre.
for Porcelli's Deli masks. You can get a mask with the Porcelli's
really?
Deli
If
logo.
you go to thevoiceofporcelli.com and click on shop, you can order your very own logoed Vic Porcelli.
Cool.
How about that?
Nice.
I also made you a magnet. I don't know if you saw it.
I saw it on a refrigerator. I didn't see it in my hand.
I gotta order some. They're a little pricey, but we need to make a bulk order.
Back in the day of radio, refrigerator magnets were hugely important because back in the day, now they do radio ratings by something called a personal people meter, which if you're one of the chosen people by Nielsen, you put the meter on you, and then the waves of the radio, this thing picks it up, and then you put it in a little dock at night, and it sends the information back to Nielsen. But in the old day, what, you want me to go through that again?
That's amazing.
Wait, you have a device.
You have a device called no. I just picked this up because it's little.
Okay.
It's a personal people meter, they call it, and you wear it on your belt, or you keep it on your desk when you're at work, and it's built to pick up the waves of what radio station you're listening to. Right?
Okay.
That's how they get the ratings.
Ratings, right? That's how ratings are done. And then at the end of the day, you put it on the dock, and it downloads all the information to Nielsen, which collects all the data
So
and
are
releases
there
ratings.
certain test groups that do this, that wear the
Well,
device?
it's like, Nielsen, you heard of Nielsen, right? Being a Nielsen family, it's the same thing except it's radio, same company.
Interesting.
It used to be called Arbitron, but Nielsen bought out Arbitron. But in the old days, it was just what we called a diary.
Right.
It was a 3-folded piece of paper that had the whole week blocked off, and it started on a Thursday for some reason, and you had to write down what station you listened to. And, people were real diligent the first couple of days, and then by the next Tuesday, it was like, But the research showed that most people filled out their diary in the kitchen, at the kitchen table. So that's why you wanted a refrigerator magnet of your station on the refrigerator, so they would go, oh, yeah, that's the station I listen to, and then write it down.
That's the one. Let's see if I can pull that up.
Pull what up?
The magnet.
Yeah, pull the
Vic
magnet.
Porcelli. I'm working on it. Talk about
Porcelli's
yourself.
Deli masks.
And
But anyway, getting back to...
how do they decide who gets the?
It's random.
It's just
Arbitron was very arbitrary.
Right.
And it's the same way they do with television ratings, I mean, how accurate can it possibly be when one person with a diary and or now personal people meter represents,
For sure, right.
thousands of people,
Right.
So, when the ratings are real good, you say, oh, yeah, it's really accurate.
Right.
And the ratings go, what do they know?
Of course.
But getting back to the masks.
So I was at an outdoor movie for the neighborhood, the Dutchtown, at Marquette Park. And nobody was in 20 feet of each other, but every single person in the crowd had a mask on.
Wow.
Isn't that just crazy?
That is
Yes.
crazy.
I mean, cheers to Dutchtown for being so diligent,
Right.
but I mean, at what point does it just make no sense?
Exactly.
Exactly.
My wife and I, we go out a lot on the weekends. My wife's big passion right now is fish.
Right.
It all started with one betta fish, and we bought the betta and the snail. And all of my pets in my house are named after musical theater characters. So he is Hedwig, and his snail was the Angry Inch. So we had Hedwig and the Angry Inch. And now it's blossomed into 8 different tanks. 8 different fish tanks, all in our living room, with all different kinds of fish in it. But we're out a lot at pet stores and stuff over the weekend. And there are so many times when we talk about what is going on. It's like a twilight zone.
Yes.
Everybody's got a mask on.
Right. Well, now St. Louis County it has the new rule today with the kids, and you cannot walk into any place without a mask. So that's new. And then the other thing that I wish somebody would explain to me,
Yeah.
why do you have to have a mask when you enter a restaurant, then as soon as you sit down, you take it off?
Right.
I don't know.
That's because COVID is not allowed at the tables.
So, like
Because
that.
I mean, you can't eat without a.
Right, but I mean, tell me how wearing a mask when I walk from the front door to my table is different than having no mask at the table. So,
I don't know.
I don't know either.
There's a lot. Also, I went in a very small thrift shop. They are really wanting to stay in business. It's called Found by the Pound. They're on South Grand. I got the dopest NASCAR jacket. But when I went in there, they have all of these rules, and they make you sanitize your hands and wear a mask. And if there's more than 15 people in the store, they lock the door until someone else leaves, and you can't get in. So I'm just curious, like, if I'm hand sanitizing to go into this small little shop, but then I go to Target,
Right.
and everybody's touching on everything.
Right.
Like, why is it just
I
too
don't know.
expensive to
Yes.
hand sanitize all the Target shoppers?
Right.
Like, where is the rationale?
Yeah.
I have a, I don't know, I might have sleep apnea maybe, I have no idea, you know, but I'm certainly not going to wear one of those hockey masks to try to sleep at night. But I have this dream a lot that I'm taking my shirt off and I can't get the shirt off and I can't breathe, you know. So
God, so you're just
neurotic, is that the word you're thinking of? Yes. So my wife even knows if I take my shirt off at home, I gotta do it real fast. I gotta get it off. Because if it's over my face, I get really nervous and anxious, you know? So the first time we had to go out shopping, we went to Deerberg's and we had masks on. And we're in the vegetable section and we walked by the basil and she goes, that basil smells great. Do you smell it? I said, the only thing I smell is my own anxiety right now. Because I just can't stand the thing on my face. And some people really literally can't do it.
Right.
it's very hard when it's hot out.
It is.
Like, it's adds a lot.
I mean, for
extra-
me, every I don't. This maybe just for me, but every minute or minute and a half, literally, I have to clean my glasses because they fog up.
Right.
Well, that's a whole another problem is people with glasses.
Right.
Because if I have sunglasses on in this, I like to go in with masks and sunglasses
Yes.
and a hat and just really look like I'm in the anonymous club, and they steam up. You got to take them off.
I have another question. How often do you think people wash their masks?
I've never washed one.
So how many snot
Right.
and
I've thought of
boogers?
that too.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yes, I do.
There's got to be all kinds of snot and everything else
Right.
inside those masks.
But I'm a big fan and big believer of the free marketplace.
Mhm.
So why can't each business decide for themselves if they want to be mask compliant and then put a sign out front saying, masks are optional or masks are required. If people don't want to go in there because they're afraid someone may not have a mask, that's their choice and their right, but it's also the business owner's choice and right of how to conduct
Okay.
business within their space.
You're thinking way too logically.
I don't
Like,
know how you
that's-
guys are just ignoring this. This dog is becoming a major
That's
problem.
what-
No.
I
what
want
makes
to go
sense.
take a trip around the block.
Go ahead. Yeah,
Maybe
take a
two
walk.
here to
Larry
chat
and I will
about it.
converse about
Let the
masks.
people decide.
Well, it's funny too because the government, all of a sudden, has become the ones who are making decisions
Yes.
on your health.
Right,
You know,
right.
and they're like, if you have a bad, my wife has a terrible bad back. She's got torn, I don't even know, very very bad, and she's been on pain management
Right.
for a while. Like 8 years a while, and she was able to take for a while a drug called Norco, which is also known as hydrocodone. Then she took Soma with it, and then a while ago Valium.
Right.
Because the pain was that bad. Well, the government said you can't have the Valium, so they took
Right.
the Valium away. So they weaned her off the Valium.
Right.
Now they said she can't have the Soma. So now she's just taking the Norco,
Yeah.
and her back, Larry, when I tell you, it breaks my heart that her back hurts that
Right.
badly. And why is the government more smarter than my wife's doctor?
I don't know. I mean, I don't really think the government is all that smart in most instances. No
And they shouldn't be in
offense.
anything.
There's, I mean, really well-meaning people in government.
Of
but
course.
As a collective, I prefer them not to make decisions for me.
And also, you know, it's like, get out of my medicine cabinet.
Right.
Get out of my wallet. Get out of my bedroom.
Yes.
You know, it's none of your business.
Get out of my business.
You know, get out of my
Right.
business. Just get out.
Right.
It's, who are you
Right.
to tell me that I got to wear a mask?
For sure.
You know, and you know, one of the truth, the mixed messages coming out of the experts.
Yes.
How can we make any kind of a plan when they don't give us one straight message?
Right. Right. I also think it's unfair. I've seen many businesses comply with the mask rule, many businesses not comply. There's no consistency
Right.
at all.
Right.
So I think certain businesses might be targeted and are shut down while other businesses go unnoticed and under the radar. But bottom line, Vic, is this. If I'm a business owner and I choose to be mask optional, then the customer has the choice not to come in. And if after a period of time I find my business is failing and not making enough money, maybe I'll choose to be mask compliant. But I also think there's enough people out there that might want to go into a mask optional store. And again, the bottom line is I should have the right of how to run my business. Now, if it's a public space, a taxpayer supported space, then probably the mask requirement would be appropriate. But in a private space, it should be that individual's decision.
I completely agree. And, you know, it's another thing that, you know, you couldn't go to Joe's Hardware. I just say Joe's. I don't know if there is a
Sure.
Joe's Hardware. It's just that, you know.
Sorry, Joe.
Joe's Hardware, you couldn't go in because they had to close down, but it was okay to go to Lowe's.
Right.
Like, COVID knows not
Yes.
to go into Lowe's.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's so ridiculous.
Yes.
And these are the people who are running the country.
Yeah.
You know? For a while, Hollywood Casino, masks mandatory.
Right.
But across the river, Ameristar,
Right.
masks were not
Right.
mandatory. Because did you see the big sign on the Blanchette Bridge? No COVID. COVID with this. COVID's
I
not
didn't
allowed.
see that.
They're not allowed to go over the
Yes.
bridge. COVID has to stop and go back into St. Louis County. It's ridiculous.
It is.
And it just makes me crazy. And I really don't like going into a Walmart, going to a Sam's Club, going to any kind of place like that, and everybody has a mask on.
Yeah.
Now, I want to tell you a quick story. I was in Walgreens a couple of weeks ago. And like I said, it is not my first reaction to look down and grab my mask and put it on. I swear to God, every time I go to Quick Trip, I walk up to the door.
Yeah, I've done that. Right,
let me
right.
go get it. So I walk into Walgreens, and I forgot my mask. I forgot it. Even after walking in, I forgot it.
Right.
And I'm walking down the hallway, aisle, sorry, and this guy, not a worker at Walgreens, just some guy, goes, "Sir, your mask," you know? And I bit my lip, and I said, "Sorry, I mean, I left it in the car."
Right.
And then I did this.
Yes. Right. I've done that.
I
Too.
just put my shirt over
Right.
my nose. Is this okay, jackass? Is this better
Right.
for you? You know? And I looked like a bigger dope doing that than I would if I had the mask on. But how many videos have you seen on the internet where literally a fist fight breaks out because somebody doesn't have a mask on?
Right. Yes.
All right, so let's talk about NexCore because you were talking about public and private.
Sure.
Is this considered a private place?
It is. This is private. This is membership based only. So the front door remains locked. No unsuspecting, individual could just walk in and be exposed. You have to ring the doorbell, or if you're a member, you have member access. So yes, it's a private space.
So what's the difference between that private space and your home?
I don't think there is much
Exactly.
difference.
That's
Right.
exactly my point.
Right.
You know, your home is private.
Right.
This place is private.
Right.
Do you have to wear a mask at your home?
No,
No. So why would you have to wear a mask here?
I don't know.
Jen?
I don't.
I don't either.
And I'll tell you, the
And we-
majority of the members that are at NexCore choose not to wear a mask.
Right.
I've never seen anybody with a mask on
Right.
here.
Well,
As
it's
a matter of, yeah, so.
you're
And
talking on the phone all day or drinking coffee.
Listen to this. At Hollywood Casino, you have to wear your mask all the time. So if you're having a cigarette, they expect you to take a drag of the cigarette and put the mask back on.
They still let you smoke in there?
Oh yeah.
yeah,
It's a casino,
It's a
Jen.
messed up world.
I like to gamble when I smoke.
yeah.
Choose a different way to die, not COVID.
But the point is they expect you to lower the mask,
Yeah.
take a drag, and then put the mask back up again.
Well, unless you get like a smoker's mask that has a little hole for your cigarette.
Then the COVID gets in there. That's the point. It's so ridiculous. It's all ridiculous.
Oh,
But
man.
getting back to NexCore, we also have had several members who have terminated their membership because we are mask optional. So it goes both ways, but that's up to NexCore
It is
or
a
up to any
personal
business
choice.
to decide.
And we clean. There's a guy that comes in here and disinfects every
Yeah,
single
like every other
surface,
month.
Well, Jen disinfects this room
Every
time.
day. No, he comes
Yes.
in every day
Yes.
and he wipes down every single
He does.
surface. And there are less than 15 people here on a daily basis.
Yes,
Like, we totally fit within the bubble
yes,
of safety.
yeah, and there's social distancing.
Absolutely. You can social distance your butt off in this building.
Also. Yes,
You get too close to that guy, you go way over there in another room and close the door.
correct.
So I feel safe here.
I do too. And when this thing first hit, when this COVID thing first hit, and we were, what was the word they used? What was the phrase they used?
Shutdown?
Something in place.
Oh, shelter in place.
Shelter in place. First of all, I was already out of work, and my wife was working from home, so it was two of us in the house all the time, and we did the big shopping.
Right.
Got a little food we needed. We got like 60 pounds of dog
Oh,
and
yeah.
cat food.
Right.
So they were taken care of, and I was convinced, absolutely convinced, I was going to get it,
Were you?
and I was going to die from it. I was convinced because it was, and it's funny how the news sometimes does the opposite of what they say they're doing, Facts, not fear.
Right.
When it actually was fear,
It
not
is.
facts.
It's completely fear.
Not
The-
facts.
The entire movement is driven by fear.
Exactly. So for the first couple of months or whatever, I was convinced I was going to get this coronavirus, and I was going to die. Now I am convinced I am not even going to get it.
Yeah.
Because I think your immune system has something to do with it too.
I think your immune system,
Blood type.
your mindset also.
Blood type O.
I know. Another reason to be
Type O, you're less likely to get COVID.
That's what they say.
But you are more likely to get bit up by mosquitoes.
And I am.
I'm type A, A negative, I think, and my wife is A positive, I think, and my wife is O negative. She will walk out into the yard and check the garden for 5 minutes and have like 20 mosquito bites. I'm out there for an hour and I don't get bit at all. So I believe in that stuff. And type O, you're less likely to get it, they say. But they say. Let's go back to that phrase. They say.
It's so new. There's not enough information. There hasn't been enough time to do all of the research that needs to be done for us to really understand.
Wait.
everything about this virus.
Before you go any further, what's new?
Corona, not mosquitoes.
Oh, no. You're saying coronavirus is
Yes,
new.
it's new enough that we don't. There's a lot of unanswered questions, and scientific research takes a long time.
Look on the back of a Lysol can.
Yeah,
It says kills coronavirus.
already?
It always did. Coronavirus is not new.
Oh.
This particular COVID-19 is what they call novel, but coronavirus has been around so long that it's on the back of the Lysol can.
Why is everybody blaming that one bat? And Wu-Tang, or
It's not called Wu-Tang. It's Wuhan. Jesus. That sounded really dirty, Wu-Tang, isn't it?
Yes.
Is that another one of your favorite words?
Wu-Tang?
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite bands.
Puerto Vallarta.
But here, for me, here it is. Like the COVID-19, the pandemic, it's real. Like there's no doubt that people have gotten sick from it. There's
I get
no
that.
doubt that people have died from it. But it's not real for everybody.
I get that too.
It's just like people get the flu during flu season, and people get this and people get that. Some will and some won't. But the government doesn't make me like wear a certain level of a coat when it gets below a certain number of degrees so that I'm less likely to get the flu.
Right.
So I think it's a personal choice where you line up. I respect both sides. I respect the person that wants to quarantine inside. I respect the person that won't go anywhere without a face mask. And I also respect the person that chooses not to wear the face mask.
Right, I agree. I agree with all that. It just gets me a little bit crazy when, facts, not fear, when the facts changed every minute.
Yes.
You know, there was a time when we were told, you don't need masks, you're fine. That was
Yes.
in March or April. And then all of a sudden, you need masks. Well, and in St. Louis County, right?
Yeah.
They put on the news, let's say it's a Thursday.
Right.
And mandatory masks will go into effect Monday. So do I get everybody sick from now till then?
Yeah.
The COVID's not allowed in? See, it's not allowed in certain places.
It's crazy.
COVID, you're not allowed
We
to come in.
do, Jim and myself do a podcast, and we have a segment of the podcast called Extreme Ownership.
Yeah.
And what
I think I was a guest on that once.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what extreme ownership means is taking ownership for your life, for responsibility where you are in all levels, economically, relationship-wise, physically, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think so much of that, Vic, is getting lost today because we want this person to take ownership of why we are in a certain place, or
Right.
that person, or that group.
Right.
And so that sums it up for me. I will take ownership of my own health.
And I will too. And getting back to the immunity thing and the flu thing that you mentioned, you know, the flu kills a lot of people every
does.
year. And also, the flu season begins and ends.
Right.
So when does this season end?
Yeah.
You know, this is going to go on, and you know, for more than a year, and it's all going to be one big number.
Right.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I do.
And the flu, well, this year the flu killed 60,000 people, but they'll say coronavirus has killed 5 million people
Right.
Year to date.
year to date, and they won't stop it and start it like they do with the flu numbers.
And also, as you said, with the facts, I mean, I heard so many stories from close friends and business people who said they had relatives in the hospital that were diagnosed with coronavirus but actually didn't have it. I've had nurses tell me that. I've had hospital administrators tell me that. So
I've seen
I
that a
don't
lot, where
even
it's
know
written
if we
down
know
as
what
the
the real
cause
facts are.
of
Yes.
death.
You know
but
why?
they in
Because
fact
there's
had a heart
financial
attack.
incentives.
Right.
Right.
If
Right.
you treat a COVID patient as a hospital, you get $50,000.
Right.
Why would I diagnose them with anything else
Sure.
but that?
Right.
You know? And also, North Carolina had 194,000 cases. It was just announced last week that North Carolina overestimated the amount of cases by 200,000.
Right, so that means they had negative 6,000 cases.
What the hell is going on? Tell us something that's real and stop lying to us.
I have just stopped watching anything about COVID. Like the first month or so, I was like, "What is going on? What is
right.
going?" Now
Were you
it's
in the
like,
room when I said I was convinced I was going to die from it?
Yes,
Yeah.
I've heard you say that before.
Oh, okay.
So you have maybe therapy, Vic. I don't know.
No, I'm fine now. Now I'm
Some
convinced I'm not going to get it.
Okay.
I had to work my way through it, and it's not my fault. And they get on the TV and said, Vic Porcelli, you're going to die from COVID this afternoon. Matter of fact, you're late.
I feel like I've been quarantining for like 10 years, so I'm not at risk. I don't
And then
go
it gets
out.
to a point where, okay, let's go out. All right, where do you want to go?
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
and-
I'd rather stay at home
everything's
without a mask
closed.
than
Right.
go anywhere with a mask on.
It's really hard, and attractions and museums, and you know, I've got grandkids, and I had my grandkids in from Arizona. Just you have to make the reservation at the museum, make the reservation to see the Ferris wheel. It's so hard
Everything
that
has-
sometimes it's just not worth it.
Right, it's just too many extra steps. There's
Too
no
many.
spontaneity.
Yes.
Spontaneity.
Exactly.
Spontaneity?
Spontaneity.
Spontaneity.
I like spontaneity better. It
It's
sounds
like-
like
wait, what's-
Hey,
it sounds like it's more
What's
from New
pencil
York.
sharpener in Spanish?
Sacapuntos.
Yes,
love
there's
that.
no sacapuntos.
And your favorite word was?
Parska.
And mine is
Yeah.
Puerto Vallarta. I want to go to Puerto Vallarta just to say
Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta. Jim wants to join us. Is that okay?
In here?
I would assume so.
I
He
guess
says,
so.
I am listening. 6 minutes away. Can I join you? Does that answer yes or no?
Well, he's not
Take a
here
vote.
yet. We'll cross
You say
that
yes
bridge
or
when
no?
he gets here.
Yes, well,
Yeah, we'll let him in.
All right, yes.
Can you start a watch party?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Do I do that from the entertainment page
Are
or my
you?
page?
I actually, the new Facebook is horrible. I don't know if anybody's
I
noticed.
think it's really bad too.
I hate it so much, and I just had to switch back to classic mode to get a watch party going.
But it has to be on my page, right?
But yeah, because you're popular and I'm not.
I don't believe that for.
Or at least you got 20 years on me.
My mouse really died in the middle of a
Facebook
podcast?
friends.
Really?
Hey,
What the
Vic,
hell is going on? What?
did you know?
What? Wait, don't tell me Denali delivers.
They do!
Shut up! Prove it! Denali delivers. Here's how it works. Make a list of what you need. We source from Home Depot or the hardware store of your choice. Text the list to 314-499-2992 to start your order. Then Denali delivers your order on the scheduled delivery date. Denali delivers. So you were right.
That commercial needs to be longer.
Yes, like 5 or 10 minutes longer. Why can I not find the
I don't know. Facebook is like a moving target. You can never quite get as soon as you figure it out,
But I
you're
do
like,
not
oh,
like the
here's
new
a
design.
switch. I don't like it either.
Yeah.
I
Vic,
tried
what's
dark mode too, and that was even worse.
Was it?
Yeah.
I'm not doing any of that. I guess you have to after a while, though, right? I'm a bitch when it
They
comes to
say
stuff
that
like
in
this.
September it's
Guess what?
going full fledged. You can't go back to classic. They keep warning.
That's why you might as well just get used to the new one.
That's what I thought
Right.
until I couldn't do the watch party. So
I cannot find the watch party anywhere. If you'd like to come over here and take a look,
okay,
you gladly are welcome to.
I will. I will at 1.
All right.
Because we have decided to take a little bit of a break at 1 o'clock and then come back.
That's for technical reasons.
Yes.
Because once we got into hour 2, it was starting to stick and
Right.
Yeah, it's
glitch.
I saw that on the last
So we
one.
do part 1, part
Right.
2 now.
and then we get a little break,
Yeah, we got a little break.
refresh our coffee, and
Yeah.
fill
Say
up
hi
the
to Rex.
water. Yeah, I tied him to the bike rack. I hope he's okay.
Outside?
No, on the dock.
That's outside.
It's inside.
Oh, the inside part.
There's a
Oh, so that's tepid area. Because there's three temperatures when you.
yeah, it's a little warm.
Hot
up
as heck
there.
outside, tepid in the middle, nice and cool when you walk through the
Yes.
second door.
Right, he doesn't deserve air conditioning right now.
Yes,
It's
he
being
does.
exceptionally bad, and it's all your fault that he's here.
Me? Oh, right. Sorry. Anyway, so masks. There's no answer. I just want this thing to be over. I want us to get back to normal. Movie theaters were supposed to open up this past weekend. I
Yeah,
think
they did.
Did
for
that happen?
$1.50
Yes.
ticket. How did it go?
I mean, I drove by them and I saw them. I never went to movies when
I know.
before,
I hate
so
movies.
that didn't affect me.
I like movies. My wife hates movies, so
Yeah.
we rarely go to the
I
movies.
wish they were like 30 minutes. Like if you could go to a
Yes.
movie theater and watch like a sitcom
Mm.
or a Money Heist episode,
Oh,
wouldn't that be cool? Like
Yes.
a Netflix theater.
we can all walk out singing Bella Ciao together. I swear to God, this is true. Neither of you will believe me, but I can call my wife and she will verify my story. 30 years ago, I came up with the idea of lazy boy theaters,
Oh, nice.
where every seat was a lazy boy, and in my head, the seats had speakers right here too,
Right.
right by your head, you know. And of course, nobody listens to me.
Right.
And now it's in
Now
every
everything
theater.
is.
Every theater.
Yeah.
What's that one on Lindell?
Chase the
Is
Chase.
it the Moulin
Oh, the
Rouge?
Moolah, yeah.
The Moolah.
Didn't they go out of
They
business?
did. They
For good.
Yeah.
Bummer.
They announced they were not coming back.
Right.
That's another thing. How many, well, people say, how many more people have to die? Well, how many
more-
people have committed suicide because their business went under that they put their whole life into?
Right.
And now there is no more business because nobody came in and they had to close. And that, what are they going to do? They can't just start a whole other thing all over again. It's like, it depends upon what people die from that make people care. Does that make sense?
It does.
They don't want you to die of COVID, but they don't care if you kill yourself because
Because you're lonely.
Right.
It's sad, and you've been in your
And
house
broke.
for
I
3
mean, I
weeks.
think
You
broke.
have no money.
I think the thing with
It can't see live music.
I think the thing is, if you kill yourself, you kill yourself. If I have COVID, I might
Hurt other people.
hurt someone else. Like, I don't want COVID, but you gave it to me. So the fear is the powerlessness of it. That I'm doing everything right, but I still got COVID because of someone else. Someone else can't commit suicide for you.
Right.
So that's where it's at. It's the
true.
fear.
But I
that-
have to say, suicide is not a victimless crime.
I agree.
If you're out there and you're feeling down,
Call us. We're here to
Call
talk.
us.
I will
Come
always
on the
listen.
show.
I will always listen because you don't think about the people you leave behind.
Exactly. There is an aftermath of that.
I'm not saying it's the coward way out. I'm just saying you have to think about
Right.
the
Just-
people you leave behind.
just smoke
Not only because
cigarettes.
you're gone, but the way that you were gone.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that your
Some
kids
people
have to
will
live
never
with.
ever get over that.
Hey, well, how about your dad? Oh yeah, he killed himself. You know what I mean? It's like
That's a lifelong affliction.
it really is. It's lifelong.
And the heavy side of the deli. So there's your refrigerator magnet.
Oh,
I finally pulled it up.
you made a magnet out of that?
Yeah,
Nobody's gonna want that.
I want it.
You want that? Why do you want that?
Because it's hilarious. I love that photo of you.
Okay, can I
We
explain?
made magnets out of lots of things.
Can I explain that picture?
Yeah.
I used to host the, what's it called, Larry? In the middle of the winter when people go in the water.
Oh, the polar plunge.
Polar plunge.
Right.
And because if you see, I'm all bundled up there.
I
I got
know,
my
yeah.
jacket on, and I got actually my polar plunge hoodie on, and gloves. I never wear gloves unless it's really cold. And of course, my headphones always keep my ears warm. But what I'm doing right there, because they were in groups of people, like at work, they would make, hey, you guys want to do this for charity? Yeah, sure, okay, we'll be the mortgage company team.
Right.
You know, so I would pick ready and go into the water.
Yeah, there's stickers as well. Well, because on this website, Redbubble, you can make you upload one piece of artwork. Is Rex doing okay?
Rex is fine. He peed on the dock, but it's fine.
Well, that's par for course. Unless you peed on the dock and you're blaming Rex.
Did you pee on the dock?
That may or may not have happened.
Where do you want
Jim
to
can neither confirm nor deny that information.
Oh no, I'm just ignoring.
You're gonna have to.
I'm not listening.
It's Porcelli's Deli. Larry Cohn is our guest, and now our next guest is our fearless, and I don't use hyperbole when I say fearless leader,
I don't know
Jim
how to-
I
Shelby.
don't know where I am.
I don't know how to get you on camera.
Oh,
without
there I
having
am.
you Sit in my lap.
Hi. Well, you know what? There's perks in all jobs.
I already feel uncomfortable.
He's
Good.
been here 10 seconds. He's already said one inappropriate thing.
We need
Well, that's because you haven't had me here for 12 seconds
an
yet.
appropriate counter.
Right. The inappropriate
Maybe
counter.
you could go sit in between Larry and.
Can you-
Is that too
Want to
close?
sit over here?
Have you
Yeah.
washed your hands?
I did.
This isn't really
After I
social
peed on the
distance.
dock.
Where's your mask?
It's in. Oh, I just unplugged you.
Uh-oh.
It's in the appropriate place.
Everything good. Where's my mask?
Not on your face.
My sparkly one.
I can hear you guys without the headphones. Can you see me? Oh, I'm in.
Look at
What up?
There you are.
And I dropped my phone. Lord. Oh.
Wow,
Hi,
you
Larry.
are entirely too close for 3 grown men.
Yes.
So
We're not grown up yet.
You guys have a show tonight.
We do.
We're The Adventures of Jim and Larry, the St. Louis edition.
Yeah. So we're working on all of that.
Change.
I just have to tell you, I was listening to your show on the way in on Facebook. Great show
Thank you.
so far. And this mask thing has me fired up.
Me too.
So I heard you talking about it, and I was like, can I just come interject myself into what you got going?
We definitely want to hear what you have to say. I think the big thing for me about the masks is, you know, COVID is not allowed in Lowe's. COVID is only allowed to be at Joe's Hardware.
And it's not allowed over the Blanchette Bridge.
Right. If you go, because you don't have to wear a mask at Ameristar Casino, but
Right.
you do at Hollywood. Did you see the big sign on Blanchette Bridge? Says no.
I
COVID.
did.
COVID with a line through it.
Yeah, COVID
And
slash.
then COVID walks up and goes, nah, turn around. We gotta
Right.
go back. We gotta go back to St. Louis County.
You know,
Not
it's
welcome here.
funny to me that it seems disproportionately like COVID only infects those with low tax bases. I don't know if that's just what, you know, COVID's a snob and they're like, I only deal with people that have, you know, high amounts of money. I protect them.
Right.
You know, if you're generating a lot of revenue for the city
Right.
of St. Louis.
COVID infects more people with low income. So it's the opposite.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is they shy away from. They're fearful of those with money. Money scares COVID away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, money like Lowe's and Home Depot and.
That's because the rich guys go, hey, COVID, come here. Here's a 20. Beat
And-
it.
And it'd be great if you could do that,
Well,
but I
it's
think
because COVID infects more people that have health issues, and generally lower income people have less access to health, and as a result, more health issues.
I think in St. Louis County, the big numbers are up in North County. So,
Right.
you know, the Ferguson, Florissant, Bellefonte Neighbors, Blackjack, those towns up there.
Right, and I agree with that. Those numbers are definitely there, and you can see those on any map that you look at. But what does that have to do with the businesses that are allowed to be open there?
I agree.
And that's my grievance right now, or I guess, why we picked up the sword, is because it isn't about health and safety.
Mm-hmm.
It's about what businesses are getting shut down, what businesses are deemed essential, and what businesses aren't. I gave the example the other day. A photographer 3 months ago in the park, 25 feet away, shooting a landscape portrait. If they're getting paid, they can go to jail.
Wow.
How is that?
Because why? What was the charge? What was the crime?
They're a non-essential business. So I just don't understand who gave someone the power to say that one business is essential, one business is not. And it disproportionately seems to me that those businesses with more money contributing to a tax base seem to be more essential than those that are not. Essential for the economic survival of a community? Sure, but what about the economic survival of the business?
Right, that's what I'm just saying. I mean, Lowe's and Joe's Hardware are the same service. One's essential, one's not. Why is that?
Well, and I think just not to correct, but I think Joe's was allowed to stay open. Like, if you were in that field of work, you were allowed to stay open.
Oh, okay.
It was deemed essential, but certain other business segments were not allowed to be open because they were deemed non-essential.
Right.
But I don't understand how someone could go in and say that me doing what I need to do to support my family is non-essential. In whose eyes?
Right.
What gives you the right?
Right. I mean, we talked about earlier that the government steps in and somehow are the doctors and the medical experts. You know what I mean?
I don't think they're experts at anything.
I agree.
I mean, the doctors are still practicing medicine. They just bought the little book, the Cliff Notes version. They haven't even read it.
Mm-hmm.
So it really bothers me, and we got notice from the health department because we're not policing individual business owners. Look, for lack of better terms, for those of you that don't understand our business model, we are a landlord. That's not the real term for what it is, but if you don't understand our industry, I'm going to make it so you can get it. We're the landlord, and there's a business in here that is paying to be here, and I don't believe it is my job or right to tell them what they can and can't do in their business.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're being told, that we have to police other business owners. It just makes absolutely no sense.
But can I add
to
something
me.
to that?
Yeah.
But that's true, but what we're additionally being told is we, as the quote-unquote landlord, have to follow the mask guidelines. So it's not just about policing them, it's that we answer the door with no mask on. You don't wear a mask in here, I don't wear a mask in here. So it's about that too. And what bothers me about that is then they're telling us how we have to run our business. And since we are a membership-based private business, if we as employees or owners of the business choose not to wear that mask, we should have that right. And as I said earlier in the show today, some members have terminated their membership here because we are not mask compliant. Other members say they will terminate their membership here if we become mask compliant.
Yeah.
So the point is that it's not about the members, it's also about us. But the bottom line is, can't we have the right to choose how to run it, and can't we engage in the free marketplace and people can decide whether they want to be part of that or not?
I also think that the term private needs to be a little bit better defined and spelled out, because this is a private facility. Your home is a private facility. You don't have to wear a mask at your home. Why would you have to wear one here?
Yet.
There's no way. There's no way. Can't police that.
That is just infringing.
You can't police that. And right, that's infringing on your something rights, Fourth Amendment rights.
You don't think that's happening to us now?
Yeah, people are knocking at the door, checking. Like they may be knocking at your home.
Well, I'm answering with my gun.
Oh, you're not allowed to say gun.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because you don't have any rights there either.
Let me tell you
Facebook
something.
just muted us.
Right?
If there are protesters on my lawn, you'll see me on the news waving my gun,
Don't be that guy.
saying get off my lawn.
Is Jessica gonna come out
Yeah?
with hers?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, they're both pistols. But, it's amazing to
Can
me.
I move in with you?
Sure.
He does.
That'll put us beyond the social distancing requirements, and we're not a family.
You will
I
never
hope you
have...
like fish.
Why?
If he lives with you.
Oh,
I just need a tank of my
You
own for the
forgot
living
for a
room.
moment.
I'm sorry. You know what? My head went somewhere else because I was about to say you will eat like you never ate before at my house, and then you said the fish.
You're like, wait a minute, we don't eat fish.
Don't eat my fish.
I just need a little skillet, some olive oil.
Beta and butter.
Hey, don't even joke. Okay.
Don't even joke.
I was on YouTube the other night so confused because every single video was a beta fish video, and I was like, what is going on?
Because
with the
you
world?
said beta or
How did
searched
I?
it up.
No, I was on Vic's freaking YouTube account.
So maybe we'll just run.
Not only does he have a bunch of fish at home to look at, he looks up fish on YouTube.
And my wife is the queen of. If she can't figure something out, she'll watch a YouTube video and figure out how to
It
do
is true. YouTube is
Right.
like the university of life.
We needed a blower motor
It is.
replaced in
You
one of
needed
our
what?
cars. A blower motor.
Okay.
And so she watched the video, and she fixed the blower motor. So the problem is, sometimes she will watch a video on beta fish, and she'll fall asleep. And the videos just keep on going, and then it turns into some guy in his garage making a lamp out of wood and saws and stuff. And I'm like, "What were you watching?" She goes, "I don't know. I fell asleep," and then it just went into that. But anyway, getting back to the masks, I was telling Larry and Jen that first of all, that when this thing first hit, I was convinced I was going to get it and I was going to die from watching television.
Because, I was just going to say, because you
I
watch
don't think
TV.
that
Right.
you can get corona from TV.
Oh no!
That's not how it's passed.
I thought it comes right through the TV.
Oh no, it comes straight from CNN into
Right.
my lungs.
I thought that I was going to get it and I was going to die from it, and now I'm convinced I'm not even going to get it. You know, I
I'm
think.
convinced I've had it.
Well, and then
Does
you're.
that mean you're immune?
Yeah.
I don't know what it means. There's no general consensus of what any of this means.
But
That's what I was
take
saying
anything,
before. We
you know.
don't know.
When a kid had chicken pox when I was little, all the mothers sent the kids over to the chicken pox house.
Just get it over
So
with.
your kids get chicken pox and get over it, because that way you can't get
You're
it
gonna
anymore.
get it.
So why would this be different than that?
And it's actually worse growing up with if you don't get it
Yes, because
as a child than as an adult.
That's
because
right.
Something much
Boy,
more.
tonsils too. It's better to get your tonsils. Do you have tonsils?
I think I have tonsils.
Do you?
I have my tonsils.
I do.
I'm the only one that got tonsils out.
I
Yes.
don't have
I kept my
wisdom.
uvula as well.
Well, that gotta get rid of your uvula. If they get rid of your
How
uvula,
else am I going to roll my R's?
if nobody, I don't think your uvula has anything to do with rolling R's.
Yeah,
does
but
it?
I like saying uvula.
I'm impressed that you.
You know what I
know
like
that
saying?
word.
Puerto Vallarta.
Sacapuntos.
Larry,
Parska.
what's yours?
What's your
Whatever
favorite?
Jen just said.
What? She said pencil sharpener. Don't get all.
Oh.
What's your word you love to say?
In a foreign language?
No. Any
In
word
general?
you like to say. Like besides saying Puerto Vallarta, I also like to say Walt Jocketty. That's a fun name to say.
Walt Jocketty is a fun. I like to say it's fine, right? Because it is. It's going to be fine. It's fine.
Nothing more fun than that.
No.
Yeah, that's not very.
Nothing
no,
as fun as
well, not that I can say on Poor Sally's Deli and keep the ratings where they need to be.
Jim has to stick with words he can spell.
Right.
I didn't even know you knew how to spell.
There you go.
All right, we're running out of time. So let's get back to the point at hand here. Masks. I feel like I'm living in a Twilight Zone episode every time I go to the store.
Right.
I don't know if you heard this when you were listening before, but the first time we went to Deerberg's, we both had masks on. We're in the vegetable aisle, and Jess goes, "Oh, smell the basil. It smells great." I said, "The only thing I can smell is my own anxiety because I
Right.
can't stand wearing the damn mask."
Right.
Every time I go to a store like that, like hardware stores or whatever, I go to the herb department and I grab some lavender
Mm-hmm.
and I stick it in my mask.
Oh, nice.
I can bring you some from our garden.
Please,
We have lavender in the
because
garden.
my lavender died.
That's a great idea.
Probably because you plucked it.
I'll bring you some
No,
lavender.
it's because somebody who lives next door to me hates plants and he sprayed the whole fence
And killed your plants?
just by circumstance. Just
couple of
Wrong
weeks
Would
ago.
that be
place, wrong
circumstance
time.
or happenstance?
Happens, yeah. They were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
It was a bad stance.
Granted, I was probably going to kill him anyway, but
The neighbor?
The neighbor or the plants?
the plants.
Got it.
Hmm.
A couple of weeks ago,
Yes.
we had eggplant parmesan with eggplants that were grown in our garden,
Wow.
and we had
Who
enough.
cooked that?
Who do you think?
Right.
Your wife.
Yeah.
Did she learn on YouTube?
No, she learned from my mother.
Okay.
So, and then we had enough Roma tomatoes, which are the longer ones, to put in the sauce. So we had like eggplant and sauce that all came from our garden. Isn't that neat?
Yes.
That's nice.
Now, does COVID impact plants?
Because why isn't it all over the fruit?
Well, it doesn't stay on surfaces. We're learning
You
now.
see people touching everything in the grocery stores.
Right.
Their hands all over the apples. I mean, you normally wash that stuff when you get home anyway, but
I don't.
I don't.
I don't either.
No. I'm just like grapes. Joe's fingerprints. And I let it burst in my mouth.
Okay.
Awkward moment of silence.
So here's a thought.
Yep.
Here's just let me throw this at you, and this may be too political, but with this strong movement of I can do whatever I want with my own body, to the point where there's not a real big desire to help people with the opioid epidemic, pandemic that's going on in the world. There's people that are on both sides of the fence on women's health issues. But why is it then that you can mandate every single thing I do when I go out into public? I wear a mask, where I can go, when I can go, how long I can stay. Is that not, are we not becoming, forget socialist, are we not becoming
Can I
a
answer that?
communist society?
If I have an opioid problem and I walk right by you at the store like this, no matter how bad my opioid problem is, you will never get my opioid problem.
Yeah, this is the
If I'm pregnant, I can be as pregnant as I want. You'll never be pregnant no matter how close I get to you. If I have COVID, I can walk next to you and you can get COVID. So,
But you have a
it's
choice to not walk next to me.
I have a choice?
I don't
Yeah,
Well,
like
sure, I-
walk elsewhere.
Larry
Well, I-
has to be next to you. I
No,
don't believe
but,
he has a choice.
But that's not the point, Jim. The point is I could be in a store and someone could come up next to me and I could acquire what they have.
Then
I
don't
can't
go to the store if you're too scared. Have it
Right, so
delivered.
let me finish what I'm saying. So that's the reason why all of this exists, because you can't get my opioid epidemic, but you can get my COVID. So that's the underlying reason is people are feeling powerless, that I may get sick or I may die because of something you do.
Right.
And that's where the root of all of this is.
Yeah, is that it
Now,
affects other people
right.
besides yourself.
Exactly. Conversely, I don't agree with any mask requirements, because as you choose to go out, you can choose to go to places that have mask requirements, or you can choose not to.
Or you can eat at home.
Right.
You
or
can
you
eat
can
at
eat
home.
You can do all sorts of things.
Well, we don't all have a garden full of bountiful fruit.
Yeah, but at what point are they going to, and we joke, right? But at what point are they going to require you wear masks in your home? Or are they going to attempt to require you wear masks in your home?
Well, they can attempt all they want. They can even come knock on my door and
You
say,
live alone.
"You have to wear your mask." Oh, okay, got it. All right, take care.
Right. I mean, how cameras in your house?
It's becoming
I don't see that
a
happening.
bigger and bigger Twilight
That's a
Zone episode.
dystopia that will
It just
and
makes
everything.
sense to me that if everybody takes more ownership of their life and makes choices about how they want to interact and where they go and who they want to be with and where they want to shop and where they want to visit, then all of that lies within the individual's power. Everything, it seems like recently, has been about stripping people of power. And taking the power from me and saying it's about that person, that government entity, or it's about this, or it's about that. I want to take back the ownership of the individual. Let the individual make the choice of how they want to interact.
And some of what you're talking about too, Larry, is liberty. They're taking just
Exactly.
more and more liberty
Right.
from us, and that's not American. Sorry, it's just not American.
No, it's not. But they're talking about people are dying. But where is the outrage? And I'll go back to what I said over the people dying from overdoses. What about the suicide rate with our
The outrage
veterans?
is because they feel it's that person's fault. You shouldn't have ever gotten addicted on drugs. It's that person's fault. The outrage over the COVID is I can get sick because of nothing I did, and I'm outraged that I can live a good, clean life and still get sick. You chose to pick up the needle. You chose to pick up the pipe. That's on you. So I'm not saying that that's what I think, but that's why. The outrage is that I had nothing to do the fact that I died. Or that I got sick, or that I was on a ventilator.
H1N1 killed more people than COVID did.
You know what kills more than all of them?
The flu.
Mosquitoes.
Right. But my point about H1N1 is it killed more people than COVID did. And we never shut down. We never had a mask. It just kind of...
But I don't even know what that is.
I don't either.
Swine flu.
It's a version of the
The
flu.
big flu.
They like, we
But
call
so,
it corona.
if you look at
But if you had the swine
how-
flu, could you give it to someone else?
Yes, it was contagious,
if you look
sure.
at the half-life of corona and how it spreads and its gestation period, the chart is very terrifying. The way that other flus spread is not as fast. Like, so many people can be affected by corona so quickly. And because there's that 2-week time period where you don't even have symptoms or know that you have it,
And Jen,
it's exponential. I'll pull up a chart for you.
I agree with everything you're saying. You don't